this is so cool. I get to look at. I I installed a second monitor. I finally hooked it up after getting it in last week. So now I get to look at YouTube Studio and OBS at the same time while I'm actually streaming. So now I have to figure out how to find a link so I can tweet out. In the final days of hack test. Cool. Ah, I'm discoverable now. I've unlocked more on Twitter. Hmm. Hmm. I feel like. Wait, I hope that's not streaming. Yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. See, now I'm glad I set it to only capture the game. So when I'm on Twitter, no one else can see. Okay. Open widget. Stream health poor. I don't know what that means. It's okay, we'll minimize that, maximize OBS. Okay. Ooh, I'm not used to having a big monitor. Wow. Okay. Alright. What do I need? I think I need to go get a drink. I have some water, but I feel like I need something else. Oh yeah, this is so weird. Okay. So here's what I'm working with right now. We are very high on removal in the main. I am trying 2 Brotherhood's End as additional copies of a Braid so I can handle Bank Busters and other artifacts, but also as a way to deal with small creatures because I want additional removal for that. Toxic had a really good weekend in South America. And I also want a way to clean up some Planeswalkers, hopefully improving my white matchup because white also had a very good weekend in South America. I'm sitting on a lot of the same threats as before. 4 Harvester, 4 Trespasser, 4 Fable, 3 Bankbuster with the 4th Bankbuster in the sideboard. I've cut down from 3 to 2 Shieldred. The Black-Red list that did well last weekend and has been fairly stock since has been on 3 Shieldred. I cut to 2 because I'm playing additional threats in 2 copies of Capricious Hellraiser. I'm trying this out. And I'm maxed on the Invoke Despair, whereas the Black-Red list from last weekend had 3 Invoke, 1 Gix's Command in the main. I'm a little less... Hold on. A little less focused on that kind of thing. And I'm more trying to cast Invoke Despair as often as I can. It's really good at cleaning up a board, but also dealing damage and just generating additional cards. Let me grab this. and just trying to repeatedly cast this, and that's why I'm playing the Hellraisers, because I'm trying to maximize the amount of times I cast Invoke Despair in any game. I think it's really good at just handling a full board, or at least a board full of diverse permanents, because I'm hoping that the going wide stuff can be handled by Brotherhood's End, and the kind of going diverse stuff can be handled by Invoke Despair. Worst case, Invoke Despair's draw 3 cards, deal 6 damage. So that's the game plan with maxing Invoke and trying some Brotherhood's End and some Hellraisers. The Gix's commands are in the sideboard because I think those are a pretty strong sweeper right now. I was playing with Burn Down the House earlier in the week, and I think it's good. It might be just a little narrow. Someone else in one of the discords I'm working in is playing some number of Hellraiser and main deck Burn Down the House, and they're lower on Invoke Despair. I'm definitely the only one of the few people I've seen that are actually just maxed on this card and kind of don't care about the other 5s in the main. I was playing a 5th 5-drop with a single Gix's command in the main deck for a little bit. It's probably fine. I think it's pretty defensible. I think I just kind of want to do my own thing game 1 instead of trying to plan for a metagame that might not come to fruition based on just probably at this point what people have available and what people have been testing for the last few weeks. I don't think it's going to shift that much. I'm also off Transmogrants in the main. That's kind of where I'm getting these Brotherhood's End slots and Hellraiser slots, is that I'm on 0 Transmogrant in the main. I don't think it's as good as it was at the time. I think it's kind of like not falling out of favor, but I think more people are prepared for it. You're not going to take advantage of the fact that people just don't know the card is present as much now as you could then. We're on 4 Duress. This card's been pretty good for me. If your opponent mulligans and you get to play Duress on the play or even on the draw, they're just down so many resources. It makes your Graveyard Trespasser better, and it just kind of really limits their options. The last Bank Buster, Soul Transfer. Another reason why I think Transmogrant is just like not as good anymore is that Soul Transfer is a lot more present. Having the option to, especially if I can recast it with a Capricious Hellraiser, having the option to just eat a Transmogrant straight up with either a Trespasser or a Soul Transfer, it kind of eliminates any sort of benefit from the Transmogrant. It's not the best use of a Soul Transfer to eat a Transmogrant, but if the robot's sitting on the board and the Capricious Hellraiser gets to recast the Soul Transfer, I think that's actually a decent enough exchange. And I think this is a little more flexible and hits more things that you can bring it into the mirror than something with Anoint with Affliction, which is the 2-mana exile black removal spell that people have been using. I still might eventually try and shore up the mirror or the pseudo mirror by playing one of those in the sideboard. I have copies, but I'm not really looking to do that right now. I'm kind of looking to more pack my sideboard with a lot more just powerful cards. I've been playing Ob Nixilis the last week or so. It's been way better than I ever would have expected, and I can't really articulate why. I have no idea what he does to games. It's really kind of confusing because I don't think he's very good on the surface, but a lot of the times I've cast him, he's just demanded a lot of attention, or I've just won the game straight up. Archfiend is very good against Esper and a lot of these other aggressive decks. Having a 6/6 flyer that can block the turn it comes down and make all their attacks kind of poor, and then turn around and start clocking them back, especially with his die trigger. Whenever an opponent's creature dies, they lose 2 life. I've also had this card be very good with a Flipped Fable. In a lot of the matchups you're bringing in the Archfiend, I think they're a little lower on removal, or they might have already used it on something like a Blood Tithe Harvester or a Shieldred. But having a Flipped Fable with an Archfiend is just attacking for 12 in the air, when typically their blocks are poor, and any of the blocks they make are kind of disadvantageous anyway, because if you have a second Archfiend, they're going to lose 4 life per chump block, and I think that's very powerful. I would almost go to another copy of this just so I can have more for Esper and some of the other aggressive decks. Not really red, because I don't know if you can... I don't know. I'd probably still bring it against red, but the Shieldreds are also pretty good against red. And then I have the Gix's command, which has been played now for a while. A lot of the modes are very good at different points in the game, especially against aggressive decks where you can just sweep a small board. And hit like their largest guy, or if they're just kind of playing a more mid-rangey game with just a couple large threats, you can edict one of them and then make one of your creatures have 2 extra counters and lifelink for the turn, that's usually a pretty big swing. I haven't been able to do anything too much with Gix's command. That's definitely my fault. But yeah, this is where I'm at. 2 color mana base, 12 dual lands, 1 of each of the channel lands. I thought about going down a mountain, going up into Sokenzen, just so I can have more ways to go wide. I don't think that's very good though after playing the deck for a bit, and I don't really want to go too low on mountains now since I have a triple red card and a double red card. I don't really want to get cut off of my colors too badly. The list the one guy was working on that had Hellraiser and Burn Down the House had 3 mountains Sokenzen. I think you cut down on a swamp. I've considered that, but I don't really want to change the mana base too much. I haven't had really any problems with hitting colors or anything, so I don't really want to take away from that. And what else? I kind of want to play more Ob Nixilis. I think that's way too greedy, though. I think Soul Transfer is good enough as like virtual additional copies of Ob Nixilis. I just changed the to Hellraiser 2 Brotherhood's End a couple hours ago when I was playing again. I'm trying to think. I thought about some number of some duress cut down split previously before I had these slots kind of taken up. I was gonna play 3 cut down, 3 duress, and play the 4th of each in the sideboard. But a lot of the lists I'm seeing that are doing well are just maxed on cut down. I'm assuming so this way because cut down is just a pretty good card right now. You don't really want to fall behind against a lot of these aggressive decks, and you really want to have that cheap, efficient answer, especially with enough decks playing Thalia right now and being extremely annoying on your expensive spells with that. There's been a couple times where I haven't killed a Thalia, and it's really kind of tied up my future turns, and it's been very punishing. But then there's the games where I'm on the draw and I play Swamp and then play a second mana source, and I'm able to cut down the Thalia and just trade evenly on the mana. And being able to untap going into my third turn. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not sure if this approach is going to be good, but if my goal is to resolve Invoke Despair as many times as I can, I think Hellraiser is probably the best way to do it. I was previously last week thinking about Bloodthirsty Adversary, and I think it's good, but I don't think I have enough good 3-mana cards actually to flashback. I mean, I have Brotherhood's End and just these removal spells, but I don't think that's enough, and I don't think I'm aggressive enough to really take advantage of a semi-okay size haste creature. Which is kind of what led me to Hellraiser, where if my goal is to just recast the good cards, I think I can, if I'm able to add like Invoke Despair and Fable, which the token exiles itself, so I don't get the backside of the recast one from Hellraiser. But when I get to recast these and Bankbuster, the Hellraiser just seems a lot better. Plus being 4/4 flyers, kind of good. So, the goal is just to go bigger than that. I don't know if I'll miss the 3rd Sheoldred. I'm sure I will at some points, but at the same time, getting just kind of trading poorly on mana with a Go for the Throat when they're holding up mana and making the Sheoldred harder to cast is kind of bad. Okay. Drink a little water, and then I'm going to start a couple games. It says on my YouTube, so you have to change my resolution for my video. It must be because my monitor's bigger. It might not be streaming correctly. Okay, well, we're gonna play first. We got a tap land and then a black land, but we have some decent removal. We're on the play, but I don't have a good turn 3 or guaranteed 3rd mana source. So this one's kind of tough. I think I have to mulligan this, and it's really kind of a shame. But the top end is just so uncastable. Maybe I keep... I think I'm fairly likely to draw like a playable spell or the third land. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I think that might be a bad keep though. So they mulliganed again, they mulliganed at 4, and they conceded. Okay. Oh, and they're just gonna leave. Alright, well. Okay. It's kind of cool when you're just laddering, but when you're doing this, that's just a bummer. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Okay. We're on the draw. Okay, this hand is kind of bad. We have all of our colors, though. We have a Sokensen to mitigate some flood, and we have Harvester and a Braid. I think this might be fine. I'm not too crazy about it on the draw. On the play, I would get to untap with the Harvester, possibly. We're on the blind, though. I can answer a Bankbuster, and I have 2 effective removal spells. I think I can keep this. I think it might be a little ambitious to keep, but... The fact that this can kill a creature out of an aggro deck or a Bankbuster anytime someone's going long is pretty good. And we have a Harvester to kind of do something similar, so... And... the Harvesters are going to be a little slow in this matchup. I don't think I want to play a Harvester into a Shock here. And I don't know if I want to let them untap and be able to cast Spell. I think I'm going to hold Control, and I think they're going to play with Fire Me at the end of my turn. No, they didn't. Okay. So I'm going to wait for them to commit something and then Abrade the Swiftspear. Okay, so what are they going to do with that 3 mana after this? Do I just take the 1? I don't think I can afford to take the 1. I'm sure I'm gonna look foolish. Oh, okay, so they just did nothing. So what could that be? I'm gonna play Mountain, Bloodtithe Harvester, hold up the Blackcleave Cliffs. I don't think it really matters if I hold up the cliffs or not. This is gonna flip. I think I'm just gonna block with the Harvester. Oh, they're just striking me. That's strange. Okay. So they must not have been able to pump it out of range, so I'm pretty lucky there at the fire. I'll block here because the Harvester is going to try and trade with it anyway. Yeah, I know. Testing going great, already undefeated, huh? Okay, so this might change things. The Harvester can still trade with the Etching if the Raiju modifies it. Okay, so I'm going to resolve that. If I block here, I save 2 damage, go to 4. My next turn can be Shieldred, or I can play Harvester, kill the Raiju. That involves taking 6, going to 7. Is playing the Shieldred better? Playing the Shieldred might be better than using the Harvester. I can play the Harvester later. I don't think... No, I think I have to take this. I think I have to use the Harvester to kill the Raiju, and then I can block with the second Harvester I'm going to play. Okay. So I'm going to play this. They have a Foundry as well. We're going to play a Swamp. I'm going to activate Harvester on this, and then I get to block, stay at 7. And I actually get to handle the problem this way. They're gonna play Foundry. I can Stone Ring them. So then I get to trade the Harvester with the Kumano or the Foundry. Untap with the Shieldred and gain a life. Pass to attacks. They're going to attack with everything. It's going to resolve. This escapes with 4 cards. So I think I want to suck some damage up. I might just try to commit their mana so they can't attack with the Foundry next turn. And commit them to trying to escape the sweep. Go to my turn. I'm gonna play Swamp because the next turn I can play Sokenzen to play the Hellraiser. So we're gonna go Swamp, Shieldred, and then I'm going to just... I think I'm gonna crack a Blood now. Discard the Springs. Just to gain 2 life without getting blown out by removal. Now I get to the Kimono. That card's very good. The second one is rough. Okay, so I get to block here. If they have the shock, I'm dead. Okay. What am I gonna cast? I can cast in a Braid, or I can just start cycling the Blood. And I think I have to be safe and start cycling the Blood. I'll discard Haunted Ridge here. So I have the option of drawing land and channeling Sokenzen and casting Cutdown. Okay. So, okay, because now I have no third red source for the Hellraiser, and that's my fault. I think I have to play out Swamp, and so I can still channel Sokenzen, use Cutdown. Combat, I have blockers. I think I can attack. No, I can't attack, because he's going to escape the Squee. End turn. And I get to cut down the Squee before combat, though. And it commits a lot of their mana. Okay, but they're not going to. So I'm going to let them attack. So I can cut down Etchings. Oh, I could have, because it costs less. Because I have a legend. Block. I think I just want to fog a little. I don't want to expose myself to losing the Shieldred to just random. Yeah, I should have attacked. I want to gain a little more life with the Shieldred. I wonder if I should have traded off there, though. That's pretty fortunate. So I just cast this and draw some cards and gain some life. So I think now I'm out of the danger zone. Okay. That was pretty fortunate, despite messing up some games, or some parts of the game. So I want... for mono red. I'm gonna bring in Archfiend Gix's Command just because they're so large. Maybe bring up Nyxos because I can gain life with it. And I think I trim down on Invokes. I think I'll leave myself with 1. And I can trim down on Bankbuster a little. And I am on the draw, so I think I can go a little lower on Fable. And I don't think I want other cards. I think I'll leave 1 Bankbuster, or 2 Bankbusters in. I'll go to 2 Fables as well, because I think they're pretty poor on the draw, and I think they're really poor in this matchup. I'll leave the Brotherhood's End in, because they seem to go a little wide. And since I'm going lower on Fable, I think it might be excusable. I'm hoping Nyxos isn't the trap in this matchup, at least. Okay, so I can go Tapland, Swamp into Harvester and Fable. It's very slow, but maybe it's excusable. I can't flood on like Fables and Invokes, so I think it might just be too poor though. I'm gonna mulligan. This hand has double Sulphurous Springs, which is not great. I think I need to keep them though. I can always loot them away with the Harvesters. So I think I'm gonna go down a Harvester, especially with the Brotherhood's End in my hand. Okay, come on, let's go onto the ridge. Okay, so I get to go into Springs, pay only 1 life for the Harvester. Oh, I can just go for 5th up, so I don't have to pay any life. So I'll kill that in combat. So I don't have to block it. And if they have a second one, they can't get the attack in. It's kind of like when they dash Ragavan. I don't want to combat that. I'll take 2. Still not pretty. There's another Kumano. Okay. So we're going to play the Ridge. I'll play a Harvester, and I guess take a damage to cut down the etchings. Hopefully they don't cast like a Ryaju or Raiju or whatever it is. That sucks, but that's fine. I can trade the Harvester with it though. That's pretty lame. So we'll let that resolve. So I can take 5, go to 8, and then have cut down up for the Kumano. And I can blood away. Throw in 1 card. I can blood away the Sulphurous Springs and use this as a painless black source for the cut down. Or just the Ridge. So now I can Brother End, 3 damage. They can get the card off Felden. It sucks, but you know, it is what it is. And they're playing Sweet. So this is fine. I can just cut down the Squeak. They can escape it next turn, but it's gonna take everything. And then I get to have a backup. Okay, I have nobody for Tekanuma. Do I hold? I think I just play this. I think I hold the Mountain of Rummage. So now I can block. Oh, they just cast a Squeak. Alright, well, I guess I'll block here. Play this, just invoke them, I guess. I have to play this so I don't take a damage. If I played the Mountain, I would have taken damage. I would have taken a point off Sulphurous Springs. I wonder if they forgot. So attack them, put them on a 2-turn clock, and die to Squee. I'm dead to every burn spell. I'm definitely dead on board to Squee though, so I still can't attack. I just have to try and draw a card that is good. They get to go, if they have nothing in hand, they go to 10 off of my block because I'm going to eat a creature. They're clicking cards in their graveyard, so they're escaping Squee. Oh, they might have Lightning Strike. That would be low. Alright. 10. There's Fable. I can make another body. I think I hold the lands to rummage. No attacks, end turn. If they escape Squee again, I think they're short. I can block most creatures they play. Stabilize the Goblin. That has haste, okay. I'm gonna put one there. I get to block here, put them to 6. Kill them there. Give them the dross. That's pretty cool. And it looks like playing the Takenuma to not take a point off the Sulphur Springs mattered a lot. That was pretty cool. It's always nice when it comes together. Okay. Let's try again. Okay, so the plans worked. It's kind of nice. Oh, they're just conceding. Is this the person from earlier? Yeah, I think that might have been the person from earlier. Who mulliganed to 4 and then conceded instantly. Well, that's odd. Ooh, a rare. My allergies have been killing me this weekend. I thought I was getting sick because my throat was bothering me and I was like congested yesterday. But it turns out it was probably just allergies. It's not like it went away, but I will go first. Alright, go for the throat, invoke the sword. This hand is extremely slow, but I have very solid mana. I don't even know what I would hope that they're on. I guess Esper? I'll give it a shot. There's nothing proactive, but I have a lot of threats in my deck I can draw. Plus I have triple red. This one's pretty cool. I wonder if this is a intro deck Jace art. I'm not sure, I don't recognize it. What is that, Sanders? Okay. So Blackleaf, Honor Bridge is like perfect mana. I can... yeah, they're not in any way feeling pressured, considering we're just doing land go for a bit. Okay, so there's a Trespasser. Trying to figure out what do I want to do here. I have a lot of resources, and this will kind of bring us to parity. So I'm going to let that resolve, and then I think I'm just going to go for the throat. This... because I have a backup. I'll discard the Springs because it's terrible. I'll play a Haunted Ridge. So now whatever they play, I get to fairly safely invoke it. I'm going to play Swamp so I can play around, because I'm going to play it anyway for the Invoke Despair, so I can play around Make Disappear. And I'm going to play Trespasser. Who's coming in his Graveyard Glutton. I'm going to eat their Trespasser. I'll leave my go for the throat because I have Hellraiser. The Glutton's pretty good here because it makes them not be able to use Brotherhood's End or a Braid or anything, because it's a 4/4. And they're already on a mulligan, so they're kind of down. Okay, so they're doing what I was planning on, which is fine. I'll sacrifice a Glutton and give them 2 cards, because I get to untap and safely invoke Despair then. So, here we go, I'm going to invoke them. Yeah, they're going to take 6, I'm going to draw 3. My mana's already really good, so I guess I'll just hold up Cut. Otherwise I would have played the tap Blackleaf Cliffs, but I already have 4 Painless Dual lands, so it feels a little overkill. And now I get to cut down the Goblin. you know, it's not the best trade in the world, but I can't just let them attack with it. We're kind of past the point where attacking with the Goblin matters, so this might be a little bit of a waste. I think I'm going to play maybe one more land. I get to channel Sokenzan this turn. It might have been a little ambitious to just put a Black Lucas in play instead of hold it for a rummage later. They're getting to change a lot of dead cards into good cards now, though, with Fable. Yep, there's the Abrade. That the, playing the Trespasser as the block kind of undid. Okay, that's fine. If they have a negate, I'm in bad shape. But I think a main deck negate is a little overkill. Cast attacks. I don't know if this is actually the best use of this. It might not be, but I feel like they're low enough that I can kind of present some sort of pressure. Go to combat. I'll attack. I have the cut down for the backside of the Fable. Trading 2 cut downs for a Fable is not the most flattering thing. It's not the best thing. Another. Do I draw a card now? If I draw a card, I'll expose myself to a duress. Okay, we can end the turn here. It's going to be difficult for them to be able to make disappear my cut down. I guess I need to double make disappear. Ooh, invoke. Sacking a token's pretty good for me. I guess I'll commit their mana before they get to see what they draw, or possibly drawing a make disappear. Or negate, or spell pierce. I'll let this happen. I'll take 4 and let them draw 2. Mostly because I can't stop them. I'd love to draw my own though. Looking for some action. Draw with the Buster. Another cut down. Go for the throat on the spirit token. Wow. Alright, so another time when I'm going to hold some lands so I can rummage them away. We've seen 0 Harvesters, 0 Fable. I have the active Backbuster. I'm going to play around some stuff. I think I'll play the Ridge here. But I think I'm just going to pass. Because I get to pop the pilot out at their end step now. They're drawing a lot of lands. What do they hold? So I get to attack for 4? Okay, I thought they had a cut down. For at least the pilot, so I wouldn't be able to untap and crew the Bankbuster and keep getting aggressive. I can play the Trespasser without overextending myself into any sort of wrath and attack with the Bankbuster. And this plays around Make Disappear pretty well. Here's the Glutton, so I get to eat Sheoldred. And I guess Invoke, because I can pretend that they have Hellraiser. I'm wondering if I'm going to get Blade Coil Serpented at all this game. Because they seem very eager to continue playing lands. Because they need 10... Ooh, that's bad for them. But yeah, they could easily just fix this with... Another go for the throat on something that's not like a Sheoldred. Fable's good. And we're past the point of mana mattering, so I might just let the 2/2 sit around. Get on my turn, try and draw something good. Second Buster's pretty good. I think they have a Make Disappear that's just been rotting all game. Cool. Do I offer Blood Tithe Harvester for a Make Disappear? I think so, because it limits their options on Ravaging, because if they get to discard it, because now they'll have fewer things to discard. I'm gonna throw the Sulphurous Springs away to the Blood. So I think I'll play a Swamp. That might be a mistake. Probably discard and Make Disappear. No, okay. Only a Haunted Ridge. So either if they have a Make Disappear, they value it pretty highly, or they don't. Which is possible they don't. They've drawn more Invokes, but I've drawn more Bankbusters. So, I'm not sure. I also think that they've been a little loose with their Go for the Throat usage, and they've been using it on a lot of things that aren't super great, but I guess if they left the Spirit Token in play any longer, they probably would have taken damage. Oh, okay, so they're gonna do this? So I'm gonna end up sacrificing the Harvester unless I crew this. I could crew this because it's empty, and I'll crew this, and then cut down the Goblin so they don't have anything to put counters on. And then we can resolve that, and I get to keep the Harvester. I don't know how much better the Harvester is than the Bankbuster, but the Bankbuster wasn't doing a ton. I guess it was attacking for 4 and they're at 6. It's still a 2-turn clock either way. Oh, okay, so I can just play Harvester, crew this Buster, attack for 7 now. Cool. Okay, so suit them. So we want Buster, we want Ob Nixilis, we want Soul Transfer, we want Transmogrant, and I like Duress in the matchup. I cut all of the cutdowns. I go lower on Shieldred. I think I'm just going to cut Shieldred all together. And now what do I cut? I think I can go 1 down on the Brotherhood's end and just keep like a virtual third of Braid. And I'm not as into Go for the Throat here, but I could be undervaluing it. And I don't really want to cut any creatures. I think I might be over set up for the Mirror. Maybe I just don't want Duresses. Maybe I want only a couple Duress. That might be the answer. Because these are all pretty good. I think Trespasser might be a little medium in the matchup. Might just get stonewalled by Children and other things too much. It's tough. This is tough. I think the Harvester might be too important with the Fable to kind of put them in like the lock. I'll trim a Go for the Throat because I don't think Shieldred's super great in the matchup because you just get blown out by Go for the Throat so badly. You leave your Braid in and the Brotherhood's End to hit Bankbusters. I think I'll try this, see how it goes. Gix's command not coming in because it's better when your opponent has like a fairly sizable board. Okay, so we have turn 1 Duress, turn 2 Blood Tithe Harvester, and turn 3 Fable, potentially. This is like a very good curve. It does not attack the board very much, but I'm hoping the Harvester can kind of do that for me. But resolved threats are going to be tough. Fortunately, I get the Duress them. And their hand is pretty good for a long game. I think I take the Invoke here and just play with them with the knowledge that they have a negate. And they have a Corpse Appraiser, so I can kind of play around the negate by just going like creature, and never turning on their Corpse Appraiser and kind of blanking their hand. Or, now that they've played in this fashion, by trying to play their tap lands all sooner, I can play the Bank Buster through their negate, and also still not set up their Corpse Appraiser. They might just play Corpse Appraiser as a 3/3. Yep. Which is really rough. And now that they've tapped out of the negate again, I get to play Fable. Only because I drew that one. Alright, so 4th land, go for the throat on the token, which this is a good time to do that. Attack for 3. They're holding up negate now. So what am I going to discard? I can hold the Fable. I think I discard a Trespasser. And if they get into this game where they don't want to do anything, the Trespasser might be good. I think I'll discard Harvester and a Trespasser, keep Harvester, Trespasser, try and find another land. Okay, Springs is not the best, but it's not hard. I'm not gonna play into a negate. I'm gonna play Trespasser, tag my own. Oh, I have 2 now. But if I start eating them through my combat steps, I'll eat Trespasser. So I'm going to hold the Bank Buster on defense with the Trespasser, so I can block the Corpse Appraiser. Yeah, and they can't attack anymore. Okay, so now they have a Harvester. Which is fine. It can kill the Reflection, though, which is kind of a bummer. I can cast Soul Transfer, though, to try and exile Harvester, rebuy my Harvester, which might be what I'm doing. I can get greedy. I don't think I want to get greedy. Oh, they have a negate still. So I think I'm just going to draw a card. Alright. Rewarded. So I can play this. Play a Fable into their negate, or I just play a Harvester. Attack, trade off Corpse Appraiser. Because the Harvester here is going to kill my Reflection. I'll go to combat. I'll attack the Trespasser. It might not be the best use of the Trespasser. I don't want to attack my graveyard anymore. I'll eat their Invoke. Because if they trade the Appraiser off, I think this favors them. Now I can upkeep, Abrade their Harvester. Oh, I didn't even cast a spell. I could have just waited to flip and make a 4/4. That was probably wrong. I probably should have held it. Okay, so now they have to commit the mana because they want to save the Harvester to answer the Reflection, and then I think I'm just very ahead at that point. Because then I get to untap, play 2, like, spells. Yeah. I'll play this to bait a negate. And I think I'm just going to sit on the Bank Buster. I was going to play the Harvester, but I think I'm just going to sit back on the Bank Buster now and just try and pull ahead. Presenting things that they have to do something about. They're going to cycle. Black. Okay, so they're going to cast Blade Portal Serpent. And they're going to try and Mind Rot me? Yes. Or they're going to try and Mind Twist. Which is fine, that's good. I like this card a lot. I'm just going to draw the card. Second Invoke. Yep. Discard 3 cards. I guess I'll keep Invoke. Discard these. Soul Transfer might be pretty good to hold onto. But it doesn't rebuy anything super great. I think I'm just gonna try and cast Invoke. Yeah. Discard anything? No, because I think I'm gonna invoke them, attack, and then duress them. So we're gonna invoke. Sequencing in this fashion because I get the treasure and not get my goblin eaten for free. And I'm gonna duress and just hope that they have something that isn't like a land. Might be a land though. Oh, it's a Spell Pierce. I'll take the Spell Pierce. I'll leave you with nothing. Not bad. It's not ideal, but like that card's very good. I have the second Invoke though, which I think I'm just gonna blow here to try and like put them on clock and clear the way for attackers. Also, the Harvester would just kill my much. Yeah, this is what I mean every time I tell people like it's not the first Invoke. The first Invoke kind of like cleans up and maybe gets a card. The second Invoke hits the last permanent and then draws 2 cards and kills them. It's really hard to overcome. Which is also why I'm effectively trying to play 6 Invoke Despairs. With the Hellraisers and just playing 4. Definitely could be a wrong kind of assessment of what the games are about, but I mean, I think that's a pretty good place to start. Okay, we have bad dual lands and basics, and cards that I can play. I think I'm going to keep them on the draw, which is not where I want to be, but, you know, can't always go first. Okay, so it's mono white fields, which is fine, because I'm just probably going to try and present as many basics as possible. Like, here's my Harvester, there's an Invoke, there's another basic land. And I know sometimes their hands can get pretty... Okay, it's the black. Their hands can get pretty messed, because there's too many colorless lands. That's why these Go Get a Plains cards are so good. I'm gonna go to combat, I'm gonna attack. And I'm going to play this, and I'm gonna play Trespasser. And I'm just gonna try and present this 3-power aggro draw that sometimes is good enough because they're trying to play too long. Discard a Demolition Field. Okay, they're ramping. I really like that part about Restoration by Gondor is that you can just use it to ramp sometimes. This card can do a lot of things. Announcement, very cool. I think I'm gonna go to combat. I'm just gonna attack. They're probably gonna block. Unless they're looking to draw a card off Wedding. So we're gonna play Ridge. And Fable. And Fable. And I'm just gonna try and aggro them down with the fact that I don't have a lot of tap lands or cards like Corpse Appraiser that require like very specific conditions to like do their thing. You know, not very specific, having a creature in the graveyard, but with how many tokens and things there are in the metagame right now that like make creatures but aren't technically creatures, Corpse Appraiser is kind of hard to use correctly and properly. Or requires very early removal on things that may not matter. I'm gonna flow black, and then I'm gonna resolve this. I'm gonna take an action, and I'm gonna go get a basic swamp. You're not gonna catch me with that basics. Maybe I should have floated a red if I'm gonna get the swamp. So this way I could at least cast a braid. I don't think they're gonna do anything worth a braiding. Watch them play Backbuster now, I guess. Attack? No attacks. Okay, so they're gonna try and aggro me back then, the flipped announcement. That's what I'm getting from this. Results. Yeah, I probably should have tried to abrade this token, so this way I could Brotherhood's End. I don't know. Or not Brotherhood's End, Invoke Despair. I'm gonna draw for I'm gonna discard Springs now, because I have a... Oh no, I think I need this actually. I'm gonna discard this, because I'm gonna need to start building towards enough red mana for Hellraiser. I'll discard that and discard a Braid. I think I'm gonna need this to sweep up the tokens, honestly. Post Invoke. I'll discard a Braid. Oh, that's not good. Those aren't good draws. I will invoke them. They have to sacrifice the Architect, I think, if they don't want to lose the Wedding. Wow, they value the Architect. I did not expect that. I'll decline attack. Okay, so they killed the Harvester because they're afraid of the Fable flipping, because they cannot answer the Fable, is what I am gathering. I could just double block that. I think I will. Their instant speed removal is like Fateful Absence, and that's it. And I don't think Fateful Absence is great. Oh, of course. I walked into this.
Feel the energy of battle.
I don't know how I forgot about that. Actually, I do. It's because I'm a dummy. That's how I forgot about it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to combat, and I'm gonna attack the Emperor. And I'm gonna make a treasure. And they're gonna block. And I'm gonna say okay. And then I'm going to play a Mountain and Brother End for 3 damage. And kind of concede my Reflection, which sucks.
It's on.
Might throw this away, discard Swamp. Buster. Okay, so I did draw something useful. Okay, so I just hope you don't destroy it with Lauren. I think I have to hold this, actually. I don't think I can play this out. Because if I play the Bank Buster into, like, a Cathar Commando or a Lauren up the third path and just get my Buster destroyed for no cards, I'm in such terrible shape. I want to draw Invoke Despair here, or Hellraiser.
Remember your training.
Go to my turn. Okay. Play Buster. I'll draw a card. I'll play Cliffs. Now they get to draw the card off Wedding Announcement too, and they're going to start getting this lock of Restoration flipping and being rebought. Need to kill that Paragon. I wish I drew Go for the Throat. Didn't even discard it. It's okay. Emperor's probably going to make it. Oh no, okay. Do I cut down this? I think so.
We've got the edge in this fight.
It'll deny them a card off the Wedding Announcement. I'll take 4. I can... They're gonna make a token, yeah. I was gonna say, I could crew the Bank Buster, attack the Emperor. Ooh, that card's good. Alright, so there's the money. Invoke, they sacrifice one of these two, gain some life, they sacrifice this, they sacrifice this. Gotta start somewhere. I wonder if I should have drawn a card with Bank Buster first so I could try and draw Go for the Throat for the Paragon. Wow, they value the token because they can recast the farmhand. Of course. Okay, so that's gone, that's gone. That is fine. Attempt to draw Go for the Throat. Not look foolish. No, that's pretty good though. I'll play as Springs because I'm getting into the territory of wanting to cast 2 big spells a turn. Hopefully they don't farewell my graveyard away. I think they're a little less likely to do that with the Paragon going, but they also just don't need their graveyard as much because they're going to keep doing good card stuff. Get a 14, take 5. Draw their card, flip. So I can invoke them again. Get rid of the wedding festivity. I think I can draw first. Look for the go for the throat. Fail to find the go for the throat. Invoke them. Sack the token. Sack the festivity. Draw the card. Resolve that. It's fine. I'm gonna leave the treasure around. I'll take the point. Play the harvester. Maybe I should have played the fable. I think I just got too excited there. I think I should have got the fable going. This definitely feels like a punt. Emperor. I should crew the Bankbuster so they can exile it from me.
I've learned
I'm just gonna plus on the
during my
Paragon.
travels.
Oh no, they're gonna make a token so they can come in. Of course.
Keep watch for intruders.
They're probably gonna plus on the Cathar, otherwise I get to block it with the Harvester, right? Yeah.
Strike fast and strike hard.
I think I take 10. Because if I draw a second Harvester, I get to kill the Cathar. It's really bad though, because then I still can't kill the Paragon. I'm still under the gun looking for the go for the throat. I think maybe I throw the pilot away. Throw the pilot under the bus. I think I can do that. I'll do that. Yeah, I think my best draw here is another Harvester. And I have one in exile because he got laid down. Halfway through the deck. Okay, there's the Kaya. What are we gonna do with the Kaya?
I'll see this through till the end.
Lose 3 life, gain 3 life. Okay. It's a good thing I didn't take 10 there.
You're not safe from me.
That is a bad draw. Now I'm at the... Yeah, now I'm getting super punished for not playing the Fable, I think. But I have the Blood. Throw away the Blackcleave Cliffs. Drew in a Braid. I don't think that does anything. A Braid, the Samurai, die to everything else? Yeah. Okay, so we're bringing in the Bankbuster, we're bringing in the Obnixiluses, we're bringing in the Soul Transfers, we're bringing in the Thoreses. Not Gix's Command. I don't think this is a Gix's Command matchup. Maybe it is. The games are going to go long, and we're just going to be casting a bunch of big spells, so maybe the Gix's Commands are good here. The Cutdowns are not. The Go for the Throats kind of are. The Abrades, I think, are not, because I want to keep the Brotherhood's ends. The Trespassers are fine. They're annoying. The Shieldreds are okay. I think they're just good enough that I want to keep them. Because they're just powerful. Oh, that's probably what Whack is for too, and the one guy I'm talking to the sideboard. It's probably good in this matchup as well because it just kills Sarah Paragon for the cheap, on the cheap. So I think I can just trim a Harvester because I think my I think I can cut down on Harvesters a little bit because my Fables are going to be very easy to answer. And I think I can go a little lower on Trespasser. I think it has a little more value over the Harvester because of the Ward. This might be bad because I don't have a lot of things to sacrifice. This card is very good when the Transmogrants come in, but the Transmogrants aren't good in this matchup. The Harvester beatdown plan is also just very good sometimes. Maybe I trim a Fable because it's just too poor when I'm getting hit with Lauren. Trim a Go for the Throat. I really have no idea how to sideboard for the matchup. I think my sideboard might be pretty poorly built for this matchup. Which is a good thing to know now. As opposed to on Saturday. Okay, so I'm going to go first. This hand is unkeepable. This hand is acceptable. We'll keep. I'm going to put the Go for Throat on the bottom because I don't want too many. I just want it for the Serra Paragon. I'm going to duress them on turn 1. I'm going to take the Sunset Revelry that I did not expect to see in their deck. Paragon Warren. Okay. So this means that I should be able to play a Bankbuster on turn 2, and they can't shatter it. So I'm going to play Ridge. I'm going to let them commit the mana to Lauren on my Bluster, which kind of sucks for me. And then I'm going to draw a card. Okay. Thankfully I drew a Swamp. I think I want to hold him to get higher value off of it. I have this Go for the Throat for the Paragon though. So hopefully... yeah, I'll take 2. They just jam a Paragon for some reason. Buster is the opposite of what I wanted to see, frankly. Okay, so I can invoke them, thankfully. Not the best invoke, but I think at this point where I really just want some cards, and I really just want to clear the table, I think it might be fine. Okay, and I get a card. We both get a card. Okay, and I have a Lamb, so... yeah, I think I'm going to save this Invoke for when they play a Wedding Announcement next. And hope that they don't play a freaking, what's-his-face card? The Saga. The Saga. Okay, so they played an Announcement, so I get to clean up this, and draw another card. And I think I have to do something about the Announcement. The Announcement is the best thing they've got going on. And then, so I'm going to invoke them this turn. The following turn I'm going to play Trespasser, eat the Announcement out of their graveyard so they can't replay it with the Serra Paragon. Pulling ahead with the Buster. Yeah, basically what I'm going to try and do now is use the Trespasser to keep their graveyard empty for the Paragon that I know is in their hand. If they play it before they can recast a Wedding Announcement, I get to use my Go for the Throat on it and worry about the graveyard a little less for the time being. Okay, they're going to Stone Brain me. This is very bad. I don't know what they're going to take. If they take Invoke, I only have 2 left. But also, they find out about the Hellraisers. Are they going to name Fable? Because I haven't seen it yet, and people just know it's good? Are they going to name something specifically only post-board? Bankbuster. Okay, that's an interesting one. It's really good in this matchup, though. Okay, and they hit the one in the graveyard, so they must have seen the Hellraisers. Okay, so this is a Trespasser turn. Oh, I could just shatter their Bankbuster. That seems bad, though, because they're going to get the last card out of it. We're gonna eat the announcement. Maybe I should leave all the trespassers in for this reason. I think I'm undervaluing Trespasser. And I'm going to play Fable. I'm not going to sacrifice the Trespasser to the Obnixilis again like I did earlier today when I was playing. Which was born out to be extremely bad. I'm gonna adjust a little bit. There we go. Now we can see the table. Alright, so the pilot can crew this. Okay, so there's the Paragon. There's the Lauren. I kind of played the Fable directly into that like a dingus. I can play Fable Soul Transfer, but there's nothing to rebuy. So go to Paragon, do a big shatter. Kill the Buster. So I'm definitely doing this. It's like kind of fine. I wonder how punished I get if I play Fable here. I think I'll play Fable. I wonder what it says about the Brotherhood's End if I'm not using it to shatter the Bankbuster. I might have been a little wrong with that. Maybe I should have used the Brotherhood's End earlier, because I think this has been in my hand a long time. I think maybe I should have used it to kill a Bankbuster sooner. Alright, what am I playing into? Eiganjo? I'll play an Eiganjo, I guess. Unless I just have a second copy. I could have a second copy and this could just be an attack. Just playing the second copy there to shatter the Fable is kind of bad if they don't do that attack. They must have a lot. Oh, okay. I was gonna say now I'll draw the Hellraiser Watch. Okay, so I can play Harvester, Casualty, my Obnixilis. No, that might be good. The board's relatively clear, so this might be the time. A lot of things crew the Bankbuster, so I think that's not good for me. But I'm gonna be able to make a token. Making a 0.2 minus the real one now, so it's more likely to die. Trying to keep the copy healthy. I think I'm just gonna make 2 devils here. I make 2 devils. Yeah, because then I'm less soft to something like Ossification on the token, play a creature
You work
crew.
for me now, Runt.
Normally what I do is I'll minus the real one plus the token, I think I should just be making more devils without Nixilus. I think I might just be a little shy with him, or a little too ambitious with multiple. Looking to try and kill the real copy. Okay, cool. So he lines up badly against Soul Transfer. Another reason why I like Soul Transfer a lot. True. It's fine. But if we put the real copy in the graveyard, I can rebuy it with Soul Transfer is the thing. I can double block, just kill the Bankbuster, honestly. Is that good when I have Brotherhood's in? Probably not. I can rummage with my blood. Find a Fable. So I'll block here? It's awkward because I want to set up this Soul Transfer with Fable, but I need to get this in the graveyard, and I can't seem to do that. It might just be clean up like this. Kill the Bankbuster. Play Fable. Oh, now I don't have an artifact. That sucks. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this. I just need to double ping Bankbuster just to get it off the table and stop being annoying. And then I can use the Brotherhood's End to shatter a fresh one, if they ever play one like that. Okay, so what am I trying to do this turn? I have 6 mana. So I think I'm gonna Duress and see what's up first. Despite the fact that I'm probably just going to... Okay, 2 lands, that's bad for me. Or that's annoying for me. I'm just going to exile the AO. And then just ++.
Your punishment is my entertainment.
Their hand is bad, but their setup is good. Because they have this fresh Bankbuster.
Pleasure doing business.
I don't know why they have a draw step stop. Are they going to Demolition Field me to try and draw fewer lands? Putting a draw step stop for themselves is a little weird. I will get Mountain. Oh, they might be trying to maximize drawing creatures. So this way they can use a Bankbuster. I wonder if that's it. Because they probably are feeling a little nervous of just me untapping with double bad Planeswalker this many times. I can do Big Shatter, play Fable. Yeah, I think it's just Big Shatter, play Fable. It's possible I should have done this last turn and let the AO attack once. That's possible. Yep, they can draw a card. I think I ++. I think I go to combat first. Okay.
Feel the energy of battle, then guide it like water.
So they're gonna make a token. I'm gonna make a token. They're gonna make a token. So they're gonna have 2 tokens. I'm gonna have a goblin to block the human unless they plus on it. So I can cash in to make a devil, or I can just plus plus. Very difficult. I have no idea how to play this correctly. So I cash you in for a token plus. I don't really need life. Or just cash token. I'm gonna use a timeout. So if I make token, they're gonna have 2 dudes. They're gonna be able to attack, so they're probably gonna plus on this. Which means I get to trade off. I can cash you in and just hope to draw a soul transfer, which would be kind of cool. What happens if I go 3-3? They have to commit? I'll see what happens. I'll just boss.
Go ahead. Plead for mercy. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yep, they have a samurai.
May your blade strike true.
I get to cash in the goblin for a blocker, though. Oh, that's odd. I didn't expect that. I expected them to put it on the human. This is a strange attack. I don't value my mana as much, though, so I think I can let that happen. I really want to draw an Invoke Despair, though. I only have 2 left. Buster's really good here. And I'm going to discard 2 lands. Alright, so there's an Invoke. That's what I want. So this is going to eat this, and a token of their choice. Which is not great, but I think that's what I needed to, like, remain in the game. We're going to minus you for a devil. Maybe I should minus you for a devil as well. That's possible, it's correct. I don't need life. I think I just need to keep making devils. And I'm gonna sit on this swamp. In case I draw a Harvester and a Fable. There's just another way to convert my cards into something better. The cliffs, Alpine Mountain. These games are going to be a slog on Saturday. I haven't played against a lot of white. I'm seeing a lot more white right now. Should I save these guys? I guess so. And then I get to point both at this guy. If they have a Wanderer, that's awful for me. If they have a Kaya, it's also awful for me. This card's good.
Basically a pro at saving the world by now.
I have to be approaching the matchup incorrectly from the white side, because I always think that just these big guys are gonna, these big planeswalkers are gonna get blown up by Invoke Despair. I have to be just doing something wrong in the matchup. Oh, this is so bizarre looking. Wow, that is awful. So we're definitely just plus, because there's not much else to do. This Fable's going to exile itself, though. Token sagas are bizarre.
By coin or carnage. tribute is owed.
I'm gonna play this so they can't cut me off double red for or triple red for next turn as a draw. Okay, discarded Lauren Plains, which are pretty good discards. They get the treasure.
You've earned my ire. Ah, wipe that smug look off your face.
I'm glad this card is good. I thought it was going to be good, I just didn't know where to put it, or if it was better than Wandering Emperor. Turns out I guess it is. Or the Eternal Wanderer. Huh. Yeah, the red-black versus white matchup seems a lot harder. This game on its own is making me want to play black-red Atraxa Reanimator. I was already kind of leaning it because it seemed the best way to beat this type of thing.
Defy me, and you'll lose.
Because the white deck has a lot of trouble with Atraxa. So when is the Raid Shadow Legends ad coming? I don't know. They gotta come to me. I don't work for free anymore. I think that matchup is just fundamentally bad. I think I would just need to switch decks in order to improve the white matchup, which might be worth it, depending on... just kind of depending. Because a lot of the core stays the same. I think these are the cards that switch, and some of the lands. But then I'm adding tap lands to the deck, and I don't really like adding tap lands. It's difficult, though. I do have a couple... I guess I would have to think about it. I need to figure out how to improve the white matchup, though. That's also why I like Burn Down the House. Maybe I want Burn Down the House in the sideboard as well, just for the white matchup, because it cleans up a lot of tokens, because it deals a lot of damage, it cleans up a lot of planeswalkers. So it might just be about that. What do you think you could have done differently in that matchup? I think this deck is just inherently poor against the white deck. So it's really difficult to say. Because, yeah, that didn't look close. I know the versions of Black-Red, the Black-Red Reanimator decks of Atraxa, like, because Atraxa is very difficult for the white deck to beat. I think I would have to go towards something like that in order to improve the matchup. And like I said, that involves adding a handful of the other black-red tap lands, the Grixis one and the Jund one, and then you just hardcast Atraxa, make the white with a treasure. I didn't draw Capricious Hellraiser at all, but I don't think that would have been better than just an additional copy of Invoke Despair. They didn't seem like they could answer a Shieldred very well, which is not what I expected. But if the Kaya ever stole one, it would have been terrible. The Trespassers are not super effective there, and the Harvesters are not great unless it's like a turn 2, turn 3 Harvester draw. As in, like, double Harvesters. Because I've had those matchups, those draws be pretty poor for me on the white side. But I think the Black Splash version of white now is playing... I think their sideboard is like 4 Duress, 4 Cut Down. So this way they can just pivot and have access to the good black cards. So you're saying you need a transformational sideboard into the Black-Red Reanimator deck? Unfortunately, maybe. I've seen the opposite transformational sideboard where they're the Black-Red Reanimator deck, and they have the 4 Invoke Despairs in the sideboard, which I really liked. I can't really show that list on stream, though. I told someone I wouldn't. To all, you know, all 3 viewers. Ooh, 2 views. That's okay. But, and I kind of liked that deck. I liked a lot of what that deck was doing. So I'm kind of into that. I already told someone I would loan them my Phyrexian Fleshgorgers. And I don't have Cruelties. I just don't have Cruelty of Gix. I was going to order them a while ago, but I didn't have anything to do with them at the time. So I never ended up getting them. So I think I'm just a little stuck at this point where I'm running out of time to just acquire cards. Maybe I can be able to buy some on the floor, but I also don't really want to play that deck blind. The commitment of slots would be like these would just become Cruelties and Atraxas. And then I might go up to a 3rd Childred again. Just have 3 Childred, 3 Atraxa, 4 Trespasser, 4 Harvester, 4 Fable. Bunch of this stuff. And Atraxa might just be enough to win that matchup. 7/7 is a really big clock. It flies, draws a bunch of cards. Because it's like, I forgot the card types. Got instant, creature, artifact. And then these would be effectively more enchantments, and I got lands. Yeah. Just the Atraxa is really large. I think the Kaya might still be good against the Atraxa, though. Like, I'm not really looking to give them a target for Kaya to tag. I need to figure out how to beat that, though, without, like... I could always resort to something like Pithing Needle or Stonebrain, but I don't really want to go down that road. I'm wondering if there's another way to beat stuff like Sarah Paragon and Kaya. And I don't know. That's part the I think the answer might be somewhere in like the burn down the house area, where the burn is just very good at kind of like cleaning up what the Kaya accomplishes or what any of their other planeswalkers accomplish. That is why I was leaning towards burn down the house for like the last week, because 5 is just a lot. I don't know where it would go in the sideboard at this point. Like, Obnixilus has been pretty good against a lot of the pseudo mirrors, so I don't really want to cut that. Archfiend has had its spot. Transmogran, I've honestly, like, maybe I just undervalue it and don't board it in enough, but this card has done nothing for me. I've never seen it, I've never cast it, it's just been... I've seen it on the other side of the table. It's been good one time, it's been pretty medium every other time. It seems very good with the Obnixiluses, though, so I'm not really looking to cut it, but I'm on only 2. The list from last weekend was on 4. It was 2 main, 2 side. Maybe I should be lower on Gix's command. Maybe I should be playing a couple Burn Down the House in place of at least one of these Gix's command. And I like the Soul Transfer. The Soul Transfer, like hitting AO and just pretty easily tagging a Paragon. Seems pretty nice. I'll have to do some watching to see if I can figure out a way to beat this new Kaya white deck throughout the week. There has to be an answer, though. There can't be just no answer. It's like... So I've been thinking about Jund again, and just splashing for Unleash the Inferno, but again, that adds tap lands to the deck, and the fact that I don't have any tap lands in this deck, besides like Blackleaf Cliffs post-turn 3 and Haunted Ridge pre-turn 3, is just really, really nice. It just lets me play everything on time. It feels like I just outpace the Grixis deck every time, because I'm playing completely unfettered, and they have to like wait for tap lands, or try and sequence their Darkslick Shores correctly with their Blackleaf Cliffs with their Xander's Lounges, which is just a nightmare. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's just a threat that I can do something with. I feel a little threat light. Like even on like 12 creatures plus the Fables and Invokes, I still feel kind of threat light, and I don't know what to do about that. I could play like the Prowess Monk Jaya, but I don't know if she's good. I like some of these cards. That's also kind of why I like the Cruelty of Gixes as well. Is like I think Cruelty is just like a good card. I just don't really like the rest of. I've seen some people just play a couple copies of Cruelty in their sideboard of this deck. It's just I don't like the other implications that Cruelty has for the deck, and just like some of the kind of like stinkers you end up with. I've seen this in some sideboards. I only saw it one time. I don't know if it's any good. It doesn't seem like it. I've had it played against me one time as well when I was on white. I didn't kill it at the right time, but I can't expect people to just do that constantly. Play Liliana? Maybe ulting a Liliana the Veil is the answer against like these white decks. And just like splitting their lands in half and asking them to pick. Maybe? Every time I've had Liliana cast against me, though, she seemed like so ineffective. But maybe that's it? Maybe I just go... Maybe I just turn towards my own really big planeswalker, like a Vraska? That can't be right, though. That seems so medium. This can't be anything like that. Flex on Twilight. But do I not have a Vraska? That's weird. I opened a lot of that set. I'll have to look. Because the red planeswalkers I think are good. I just don't think they're good in this deck. Like, I think there's a lot of really good mono red planeswalkers right now. I was really low on Koth even for a while, but he's grown on me the more I've seen him show up. I've seen this card show up in some sideboards. I don't know if I want to end up playing that. I think it's good in the matchups where I already have plans. I saw one list where I think it might have been from the South America regionals that had one of these and some Ob Nixiluses in the main deck. I think they lowered their top end a bit, which is kind of strange because making the treasures seems pretty good for a top end. Yeah, there's just too many 4-mana planeswalkers at this point as well. I guess that's what happens when you have big set or big standard with lots of sets in it. Yeah, the Koth is pretty good. This is good mono red at least. Jaya, maybe it's good. I don't know. I just don't know where this card actually like excels. It's really tough. It's probably not good in this deck at least. Yeah, I'm kind of losing it at this point. I'm just looking at stuff like a Dominus. Divin Rod, the black one just doubles death triggers, and I don't really have any of those. Yeah, there's Burn. This might be good. This might actually just end up being the answer to the what's-his-face problem. The white problem. Because even with the anthems, all of the creatures can't really outgrow 5 damage. Which is one of the problems I've had with something like Gix's Command and Brotherhood's End, is like they just outsize it. Burn just might be like so much more damage that it might be worth it. 5 is just a lot. It rats my board, which was kind of the nice part about like Brotherhood's End, was 3 doesn't kill my Shieldred or Hellraiser, and is why Vampire's Vengeance was really nice out of the sideboard of the last weekend's deck, was that it doesn't kill anything in your deck except Goblin Token. And it's not targeted, so it can actually clean up a Kaya and probably clean up all the messes it makes. I can splash white for this. This seems horrible though. With a Braid in the format, it actually just seems terrible. That plus Ob seems decent. Which one? The Burn Down the House? Where's Whack? I'm gonna share it with the class. Um, I should just do this. I'm kind of surprised the black-red aggro deck, the burn, yeah, burn plus ob, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Surprised the black-red aggro deck isn't playing like Phyrexian Dragon Engine Mishra, kind of, but at the same time, I'm not surprised at all, because that's probably not that great, but it is cool. And I think there's something to be said for just doing what's cool. Maybe not next weekend, but one night. What else have we got? The Signpost uncommon for Brothers War. This doesn't really solve any problems. A lot of tokens, so it kills all the tokens. I wonder if Jund would want to play Luca, honestly. So I've seen people splashing for Nissa in the Jund decks and putting 2 of those in the sideboard, but I think that's like too heavy of a splash, and I don't know if it really solves any problems. Because I'm only interested in splashing for like Unleash the Inferno. And I've seen people play Glissa. I think Glissa's fine. She's a creature that pretty heavily demands removal, and I think a lot of your other cards kind of need that too. So at least your opponent doesn't fall behind because your creatures are all fairly sizable. Glissa really demands it though, because the second it starts to connect, I think the game gets like worse and worse for your opponent. This one might actually be a decent splash in Jund though, because we don't have like ways to produce creature tokens repeatedly. You can plus it, pay for the generic on Shieldred at least. You can pay for part of Glissa. Making the 3/3s isn't insignificant, and the -4 is pretty good when you cast it for 5. It only sort of competes with Invoke. This is probably... people might be underplaying this a little bit in the Jund variants of these black-red decks. Sorry I can't be the champion Luca deserves. Oh, that's what people were doing to beat white. They were just playing some number of Blade Coil Serpent. And just mind twisting them. I wish I had... because I didn't really get a chance to play this in Grixis too much. I played it a little bit, I remember, a few weeks ago. But maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe my sweepers are supposed to favor Burn Down the House, and maybe my post-forward threats are supposed to favor Blade Coil Serpent. Maybe that's it. If I wanted to be like super greedy and spicy, I would play very heavily based black-red and splash a little bit of blue and a little bit of green. Blue for like Corpse Appraiser and Blade Coil Serpent, and green just for Unleash the Inferno. My mana would be horrendous. And even the black splash lists with the Kaya is kind of favoring playing what is it? Field of Ruins. Not because they're good anymore, because they weren't good for like 2 or 3 weeks actually after that event, because everyone finally wised up and put basic lands in their deck. But the fact that it fixes and either finds like one of the 2 swamps or just finds you a plains seems like it's been very good for them. So I can't really do the hyper ambitious double splash black-red build, even though it would definitely be the coolest one. It would be definitely the coolest and the funnest build. Splashing for gross 2-for-1 mega big flame slash, or big unholy heat, I guess. That is also a naturalize, and also the mind twist, brain geyser snake. I have to see what other people are doing, because I don't have the answer on what I'm supposed to do to beat the black-white deck. They're also on 0 Eternal Wanderer, from what I've seen, just in favor of Kaya, which kind of answers the question of what's better to me. I thought the Wanderer was better, but maybe Farewell at 6 mana is just better at cleaning up the mess for Kaya on turn 7. So I'm not sure. Yeah, so note to self, maybe the answer is Burn Down the House and Blade Coil Serpent. And I just have to lean harder on discard, or Liliana. And maybe I just have to lean harder on discard against the white deck and just try and fade a draw or two. But that may be the case. I was thumbing through commons and uncommons from New Capenna, and I kind of wanted to try the draft format again. I didn't play it a lot when it first came out, but I'm kind of interested in trying it again. Hopefully they'll do a flashback at some point. I think the weakest slots in my main deck right now, though, are the Brotherhood's End. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to cast Hellraiser at all tonight, but I'm not dissatisfied with it yet. It's definitely a very late game card, and I think it would have been pretty good if I drew it in any of the games we played. But I think this might be the most sus slot. And maybe I just don't end up playing Ob Nixilis, or maybe I play one. Because a single Soul Transfer can repeatedly buy the same Ob Nixilis, and they never have to risk drawing multiple copies. So maybe that is the slot that becomes the burns. I dropped a Gix's Command and an Ob Nixilis for 2 Burn Down the House. I'm going to avoid calling it what I called it earlier today when I wasn't streaming. And I won't repeat. So yeah, I also need a better sideboard plan. I just need more consistent in-out, because I'm very bad at that with Standard, and just with a lot of these mid-range decks, I'm really bad at figuring out what is poor in a matchup and what is actually good. From the sideboard, different story. Like, I can probably figure out what I would want in a particular matchup, but when it comes to cutting just like the generically good cards in my deck, that's very difficult for me. So I think I'm really gonna have to sit down once I finalize the 75 and write up a sideboard plan, so I can go into the weekend with some sort of idea of what I'm doing, and being able to use all the work I've actually put in and all the time from playing the format for like the last month and a half, I guess, at this point. So we're gonna save this, even though I didn't change anything, I don't think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it there for the night. Thanks for hanging out and watching and playing along with me. So I will see you all maybe one more time this week before I put the testing down and call it for the event. So I will see you all later.